How you going, RPG fans? This is going to be my June pickups video. Our end of financial year sales are continuing on strong, and I was able to pick up a lot more rarities throughout the month of June. I found some pretty cool stuff. What's really fun is I took a massive trip down to my state capital where I foraged around for rare RPGs and kind of failed big time there because one thing I've kind of learned from Brisbane is they have a huge RPG community, it seems, because I could not find one RPG down there. They've picked them all clean. And I actually found most of my RPGs closer to where I live, so it's made me appreciate where I live just that little bit more. So to begin with, the first thing I want to show you is not a game. It's actually a console that I've had to replace, and I've only now bought a new one. And that is the good old Nintendo Wii, which this one comes with Mario Kart and a steering wheel, and I paid, I believe, half of what I paid for my original Wii. So, um, absolutely awesome. This one's the black one, and take three guesses why I bought a new Wii. And if you guessed Xenoblade, The Last Story, and Pandora's Tower, you're free for free. Can't wait till I play those games. Now, this is the first RPG I bought this month. Now, I've been meaning to pick this up for a while now, and that is Trails in the Sky SC. Now, I was very excited to get a copy of this, but I realized 2 hours into playing this that not understanding the story, not knowing how to read kanji or hiragana, it's a real downer. I know that this game is going to be amazing, but not being able to understand what's been said, it just eliminates the need to play this. I can now wait for XC to finish the translation. I know that's going to be a long time, but I can wait. And from what I've played of this game, I kind of know where it takes place after the first game, and I'm actually very pleased about how it transitioned. And for all of you that want to know, there is a few little extras from what I played. I know they added a few more elements to the combat system, and I'll probably touch on that when I review the English version of this game way in the future. But before I put us down, the one thing I just want to show you that's cool is this game is 2 UMDs. It has over 100 hours of content, and that's mind blowing. Especially when you stack that with the first chapter, which is 60 hours, and I know that there's the third chapter, and I can't remember how many hours that is, but put them all together, that's I would say close to 200 plus hours of gameplay, and that's amazing. It's definitely a series to get into, and I will have my first chapter review before the end of the year. You can trust me on that. Next game, and this is the second last 360 game that I have to collect for my collection. Now, unfortunately, I paid way too much for this game. I'm not happy about it. I paid 80 bucks, and it doesn't feel good, but I don't see it often. This is probably the first time I've seen it in about 8 months, so I grabbed it, and that is Magna Carta 2. Now, I dislike the first game so much. I hate the battle system and not really that fond of the characters. So I finally got to play a bit of this the other day when my nephew brought over his console, and to tell you the truth, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I was prepping for it to be a disaster, but it's actually a lot better than the first game, and the battle system is quite easy to use in the beginning. I think it might get much more difficult as time goes on, but there was no major issues, and I kind of like the characters in 2 a lot better than the characters in 1. So when I get a 360, I actually might give this a go. I was quite surprised. Next game I got was Eternal Ring. Now I got this for about 8 bucks, but there's a reason for that. It's in very crap condition, and it didn't come with the manual. I was just very happy to get the game in the case. It was made by From Software that made Demon Souls and Kingsfield, and I wasn't a big fan of either of those games. So it's very doubtful I'm going to pop this in my PS2 anytime soon, but if I get the need, I'll play it. Next game is DotHack Infection, and I've finally been able to pick this up. I've been wanting to get into the DotHack games for a while now. Now, this also is incomplete, and what's missing is the anime DVD that's comes with this. And you know, quite disappointed with that, but I'm just glad to have the game manual and disc and all. So I was happy to pick this up for very cheap. Now I just gotta go out and search for the other three games. One of the RPGs that I've reclaimed is Atelier Iris 3. I used to own this, but when I got angry over the first game glitching on me and preventing me from finishing the game, I kind of took it out on the entire series and traded them all in. I kind of regret doing that now, and I'm very happy that I was able to reclaim number 3. This next one that I bought, oh my god, what was Square Enix thinking? Oh, this is one of the worst things I've ever done. And this is a brand new copy of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. Oh, wow. What a complete disaster. If you want to know what this is a port of the DS game on a Wii, and they don't change a thing. This is actually the DS version on a Wii disc, and how this is displayed on the Wii is the two screens are side by side, and you can either enlarge one of the screens or the other, and it doesn't even go to full screen, and the game actually runs slower than the DS game. I actually did some research on the DS version, and the DS version actually looks a lot more streamlined than this. So I have no idea why you would want to buy this version when you can go out and get the DS one. I heard that you can connect your DS to the Wii version, but to be perfectly honest, I'd rather play the DS version. I mean, seriously, why would you even publish something like this? It's an utter waste. The next game is Enchanted Arms, which is another game from Software. This actually looks a bit more appealing than Eternal Ring and Demon Souls and all those other games. I might actually pop this in a later date, but there was nothing really in it to truly grab me and made me want to play it. So I can wait a little bit before I pop this in. But I'm very happy that I now have this because this is the first PS3 RPG that was released here, so I was very happy that I can finally have this a part of my set. Very quickly, I got Valkyrie Profile 2, and you know I'm not fond of the first game. And the second game, while it's got some really good visuals and it's got a really cool soundtrack by Motoi Sakuraba, I'm not a fan of the battle system. I gotta say, it really irked me. But to be perfectly honest, after playing Resonance of Fate, this actually looks manageable, so I might give this a go later on. And I reclaimed Drakengard. I used to own this back in the day, and I actually played this for a month because I had nothing else to play, and I was vaguely interested in the storyline. I really like the characters. I really like the fact that they have to sacrifice a kind of a sense of who they are in order to bond with one of these creatures. Like the main character Kaim, he basically forfeits the right to speak in order to bond with the dragon. I really liked that part of the game and the universe. Now, for all of you that want to know, this actually ties to Nier. I don't know how it does, but I'm actually very interested when I get more into Nier, and that actually might make me want to go back and play this. I also own 2, but I got rid of it, and I need to reclaim that. Now, something that I really wanted to show you. Now, this took ages for this to come in the mail, and I really wanted to get this when I saw this on eBay. And this is not a game. This is a art/strategy guide, and that is East Memorial. Now, I actually really like this. This is a book that was published in 1992, just before East 4 Dawn of East came out. There's some little screenshots. Good old Adol there. Let's see if I can find something else to show you. It has a lot of information on swag they sold back in those days. Um, Pretty cool stuff. There's a music box that came out with Wanderers from East, which is very cool. Um, See if I can find something else to show you, because the most of the part it's in black and white, and I take that as it comes. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't mind it either. There's some pretty odd artwork or 80s odd work of the characters, and I actually like this. However, one thing I wasn't a fan of is how much I paid for it and how much the guy selling it paid for it. I paid $33 for this book thinking it's some rarity, and he went to Book Off and he paid, and if you can't see it there, he paid 100 yen for it, which is basically a dollar. He paid a dollar for this book, and I paid 33 bucks for it. I got gypped in a big, big way, and he got his money. But at the same time, I'm very happy to have this. I'm trying to keep up, trying to collect East stuff so I can have a full collection that I want to encase in a glass cabinet. You know, which shouldn't have come as a surprise because I loves my East and I can't wait to collect some more stuff for it. Next game I collected was Luminous Arc 2, which I only bought just 2 days ago. Um, Nice little strategy RPG. The soundtrack was done by Yasunori Matsuda. For all of you that know, he did the soundtracks to Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross and the Xeno games. So when I saw that, I had to pick it up. Now I've been meaning to pick this up for a while now, but it just came at the right price, so I got it. I also picked up Lunar Nights. This is something I've wanted to play for a long time and actually completely forgot about it until I saw it on the shelf and went out and got it. Now, I've never been able to play a Boktai game, but I've heard that this is tied to it in some way. So I was very happy that I got this for real dirt cheap, and I actually popped it in this afternoon, and I really enjoyed it. It's a very fun little action RPG, and it's actually made by one of my favorite studio that's not known for RPGs, but known for very epic games, and that is Kojima Productions, for who made the Metal Gear Solid series, which I'm a big fanatic for. And you probably will hear more about that if I decide to do a new channel in the future, but I was very happy to pick this up. Now, the last thing I just want to show you before I actually record part 2 of this video, because I've got some really cool stuff to show you in part 2. But before that, quickly, I just want to show you the Ocarina edition for Zelda Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. Now, a lot of people raged over this never getting released overseas. Now, I think that's either a good thing or a bad thing, and I'm going to show you why. One of the cool things that came out of the collector's edition is the case is nice and shiny gold. I know that the regular edition is different, so I'm very happy I got this. One thing I'm not happy about is the manual is a fold out. It's not a booklet, it's an old school fold out, and I'm not a fan of that at all. I wish they just did something a bit better than that. So this is what comes in the box, and first up you've got sheet music, and then you've got the Ocarina itself. Now, many of you are going, oh my god, it's the Ocarina of Time. I'm very happy to have something that resembles the Ocarina of Time, but let me give you a few reasons why you may or may not want this. One, it's hard plastic. And two, if I can just show you very closely up here, that is the symbol of the guys that made the ocarina, embedded into the ocarina. Now, I know that they have to advertise their company, but that is tacky. I believe that that's incredibly tacky and it shouldn't be on there. I mean, if they published something on the box, they made it, that would be cool, but to, embed it into the ocarina, I just think that's tacky. But nevertheless, I welcome it. I actually tried to play this thing and it tasted disgusting, so I do not urge you to do that unless you want a bit of taste in your mouth. Alright guys, this is part one. I got some more stuff to share with you in part two, so stay tuned.